The Holy Gospel according to Mark, the 15th chapter. Pilate, wishing to please the multitude, released Barabbas over to them and handed over Jesus, when he had flogged him, to be crucified. The soldiers led him away within the court, which is the praetorium, and they called together the whole court. They clothed Jesus with purple, and weaving a crown of thorns, they put it on him. They began to salute him. "Hail, King of the Jews!" They struck his head with a reed and spat on him, and bowing their knees, they paid homage to him. When they had mocked him, they took the purple off of him and put his own garments on them. They led him out then to crucify him. They compelled one who was passing by, coming from the country, Simon of Cyrene, the father of Alexander and Rufus, to go with them, that he might bear his cross. They brought him to the place that is called Golgotha, which means the place of a skull. There they offered him wine mixed with myrrh to drink, but he didn't take it. Crucifying him, they parted his garments among them, casting lots over them so that they knew what each should take. This was the third hour now, and they crucified him. A superscription of his accusation was written over him. It read, "The King of the Jews." With him, they crucified two robbers, one on his right hand and the other on his left. The scripture was fulfilled then, which says, "He was counted with transgressors." Those who passed by mocked him, wagging their heads and saying, "Ha ha! You who destroyed the temple. You'd build it in 3 days? Save yourself. Come down off of that cross." Likewise, also the chief priests, mocking him among themselves with the scribes, said, "He saved others. Can't he even save himself? Let the Christ, the King of Israel, let him now come down from the cross, that we could all see and believe him." Those who were crucified with him also joined in the mocking. When the 6th hour had come, there was darkness over the whole land until the 9th hour. At the 9th hour, Jesus cried with a loud voice, saying, "Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani," which is translated, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Some of those who stood by, when they heard it, they said, "Listen, he's calling for Elijah." One of those ones who heard it ran and filled a sponge full of vinegar. He put it on a reed and gave it to Jesus to drink, saying, "Let him be. Let's see whether Elijah comes to take him down." Jesus cried out with a loud voice and gave up his spirit. The veil of the temple was torn in two, from the top to the bottom. When the centurion who stood opposite him saw that he cried out like this and breathed his last, he declared, "Truly this man was the Son of God." There were also women watching from afar, among whom were both Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of James the Less, and of Joseph, and Salome, who, when he was in Galilee, they followed him and served him, and many other women who came up with him to Jerusalem. When evening had come, because it was the preparation day, that is, the day before the Sabbath, Joseph of Arimathea, a prominent council member who also himself was looking for God's kingdom, came forward. He boldly went to Pilate and asked for Jesus' body. Pilate marveled, asking if he were already dead. And summoning the centurion, he asked him whether he'd been dead for long. When he found out from the centurion, he granted the body to Joseph. Joseph bought a linen cloth and, taking him down, wound him in that linen cloth and laid him in a tomb which had been carved out of a rock. He rolled a stone against the door of the tomb. Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of Joseph, saw where he was laid.